Hello everybody, and I think this is recording. Today I am in quarantine with the C virus. I can't say the word because demonetization. So today I'm just gonna give you a room tour because I don't know what else to do. It's not the best. I feel like it's better than what it used to be. I wish I could show a comparison, but um take note that some of these things might be weird for my age demographic, like all the stuffed animals over there. But let's go on this corner of the room first. This is my most messy place right now. I have I have my Beanie Baby collection, which in 2016 I thought that these were valuable at some point, but they're not. Well, for most of the time they aren't. But I feel like, how do I change this back? There we go. And I feel like people kind of overvalue them. They ask for like $1,000 on it on eBay, and yeah, that's just there. I might sell them and see if I can get any money from that, but yeah. I got a VR headset, which these for phones are pretty cheap, but I have another one over here too, and yeah, and what else? And I have this whole shelf or multiple things. Up there is some things, some figures, and I have a Waffle Crisp box that people are like, that thing still exists, and I'm like, yeah, I got it at a King Cash Saver. It was just like a nearby grocery store about 2 years ago, and then let's see if I can zoom in on that. There we go. This Fruit Loops thing with the bird or Toucan Sam. That, how do I make this not blurry? Whatever. Like that thing is from like 2006, I believe. I got it for my birthday, and there's some Stay Puft stuff, which I don't know why. What's over here? Sometimes I hoard some things because I don't know, I'm not aware of it, and a Chuck E. Cheese bank, I believe. Yeah, I haven't used this, and I think it's from. Is there a date on this? 89. Yeah, so, or around that time. And I have a Coca-Cola, what do you call that? Like a bin? Or a tin. I don't have anything in it, but, there's some classic cars, because I love classic cars. I don't know why this is on here. I think classic cars look awesome. I don't think people understand how awesome they are. Well, they don't have seatbelts for the most part, but. And then right here I have some brochures. I saw some at the restaurant that we went to a couple of weeks ago. And some of these are from like Disney World and stuff like that. Let's see if I can lay them down on here. I got Branson, a Circus Pass, some Disney World ones. Disney World Parks from 2018, laser tag, Dolly Parton's. Now, Dolly Parton, you probably know. Some people might know who she is. This place used to be called Dixie Stampede, and they actually changed the name because it was kind of racist a little bit, but I don't know. And I have two of those for some reason. And then I have Showboat Branson Belle, which is a big attraction. Most of these are Branson ones. Branson is like it's basically like the Los Angeles, if you could say that, of Missouri, because I live in Missouri. Oh, here's a failed invention. So I tried to make this, and so basically I was in a FNAF or Five Nights at Freddy's obsession in like 2017, and I tried to make this and it failed. I was trying to make a Golden Freddy mask, and it failed horribly. I mean, it's not terrible, but... Okay, now I need to put this back up. There's Minecraft. And there's gonna be a big part of this room that I'm gonna be focusing extended on, and I'll show you that in just a second, or a minute. I have the NES pillow, and that shows you a hint. And I have this Lego Toys R Us thing. I got this when they were about to close out business, which I don't know if they still are, but and then down here is my favorite because it's mainly nostalgic things. And so I have a Crystal Pepsi, which is warped over time. That's how long I've kept it. I think like 2018 I've kept it. You can't get these anymore. Well, look, 2 years ago apparently. Crispy and M&M's, which those are brought back, but I just like the container. Stay, okay. This one is crazy. This happened like a few days ago. So like we were doing some construction on our house, and underground, under our bathroom, there is a Budweiser can from the 80s, because that's when our house was built, and it's really good condition for being underground for 30 years. The only thing I would change is like right there, but that's just rust over time. I decided to keep it. I was like, hey, why not? Oh yeah, here's the Coca-Cola thing for Stranger Things. I did not like this new Coke. This new Coke was so gross. But, yeah. And then Jolt. Jolt, I don't know why anyone wanted this back, because it's gross. It's gross. I'm sorry. And then, here's my Blockbuster. I mean, I didn't work at Blockbuster. If you guys don't know what Blockbuster is, it's it was a rental store that I never went to, but, and I've had some Coca-Cola bottles here, 2 Coca-Cola ones, and a Welch's one from around the 50s, I believe. It's pretty good over its time. And actually, at my grandparents' house, back in like my parents would, or my grandpa at least, he would dump like bottles into like garbage, or like there's like glass bottles in like the land that they have, and they have a bunch of them, and I might ask for more because I don't know. And over here, this is a Uncle Remus vinyl, I believe, or a record, or a vinyl. And this was from, I believe, 1953, when it was still not racist to people. But, yeah, and I watched the movie. I actually have the movie in a bootleg format, which I shouldn't have, but if you guys don't know what Song of the South is, one, I got a DVD bootleg from China. I don't know where this is from, but this is not an official. I never got a DVD release, which kind of good, but they showed the animated parts in Splash Mountain for a reason, but don't want to do on racist things. So, and what else do I have? I have a Blockbuster DVD rental thing. I have an iPhone box. I think that's all. Oh, yeah, here it is. So there's that cup right there is a Silver Dollar City cup. And Silver Dollar City is a pretty well-known, it's a pretty well-known theme park around the U.S. It's in Ms. Branson, which the majority of these brochures are. And it's one of the best theme parks in existence. Well, I don't know about that. But it's a really good theme park. It's set in the 1880s. In the 1880s Midwest, or around that time. And there's these cups that you can get, that some of these cups are going for hundreds of dollars, not this one specifically, but hundreds of dollars on eBay, because they can refill. Like, you can get like normal cups or normal sodas at Soda City, but they're like $4 for a medium, which I don't know how that's a thing. But you can get these refillable cups for around $300 on eBay. Or maybe not that much, but it's a lot of money. And we have some of them before they got expensive, so that's good. And then don't think I have anything else there. There's some stuffed animals. Oh, there's a Santa tin from Pepsi, and here is Tupac poster. Dude, rest in peace, man. Like, it's been 20 years, but I just can't get over his death. I got into rap music I think like a year ago, and when I discovered him, lyrical genius. Rest in peace to all the legends. And when I'm filming this, it's been a year since Nipsey Hussle died, so rest in peace. I think that's there's a couple. There's my laptop and some things. Now I'm gonna move on to the thing that's gonna take a long time, maybe. It's my game area in my room. This was installed recently, and most of these consoles that I have most of these consoles that I have, I think they do have enough room on this TV, but so how do I make this not blurry? No, that doesn't help. Whatever. I'm gonna sit down and do this. Oh, family video chair. Got that when it was closing down, but I might do a game tour on its own when I'm fully satisfied with it. A game section tour. So I'm gonna start with the handhelds first. I got a Game Boy Advance SP, which is the best Game Boy. Most of these consoles are like retro. Please turn on. There we go. Yeah. And I got this for around $90, which is a lot compared to what you can get on eBay. Vintage stock, thank you. I'm sorry. So, and then there's this planner. This isn't really a game show thing, but this is like retro. This is not from the 80s though. But I got a DS Lite, which I've kept for over almost a decade now, and it's pretty good. I mean, for the condition, it's pretty good condition wise. I remember I would try to stick like different ports in and not thinking it was the Game Boy Advance port for this. So, I don't know. And then I have my PSP, which I play on all the time, which is modded actually. I still don't, I think there is a way you can add like discs and stuff like that, but I'm too lazy. This was modded, and you could well, maybe not easily, but you can put some emulators on this thing and it'll run fine. But the Nintendo 64 emulator is not the best on PSP, which it is, well, it's from the 90s though. I don't get it. But this PSP I got in my birthday, and I love it. It's one of the best handhelds of all time. Probably my favorite, to be honest. Kind of sad that PlayStation stopped that handheld marketing. And now, is there anything else I do before I move on to my consoles? I don't think so. Let's start with the Atari. Now, this Atari, I got for around $70 with, I'm just going to show you the games first. I got this Xbox lot, which has a bunch of games, which is pretty nice. And I got this Xbox, these games, and that Xbox for around $70, which is actually a pretty good deal, but this is my newest edition. There's some Atari games back there. On top, I'm starting to run out of room a little bit, and then there's the Game Boy games down in like a glass thing. I probably need to change that. I need to change these, I need to make a new shelf, or not make a new shelf, but I need to add some more room. Alright, so now let's move on to Atari. Now, what do I say about the Atari? It's classic, but the controllers really haven't held up that well. Where's an Atari joystick? Do I have one in here? Oh yeah, I see one. The Atari joysticks, let me say one thing about them positive. I mean, the buttons are satisfying to click, but the joystick just hasn't held up well at all. But yeah. And I like the Atari. I mean, it takes me forever to connect it to RF, because that's really that's the only way you can That's the only way you can really play it on modern TV or any TV. And most of the consoles I don't have plugged in because, yeah, that's terrifying. So, yeah. So that's my there's my Super Nintendo. I got this around $30, which isn't that bad. I believe I have Super Mario World and Street Fighter 2. One of the first versions. They milked the crap out of that franchise, Super Nintendo is just so hard to collect for. Like, that's the only reason I have 2 games is because they're like $30 each in most places. It's kind of hard to get Earthbound or like Super Mario Kart for, I think that's what it's called, Super Mario Kart. Yeah, I'm just being weird. Super Mario Kart, you can't get that for below $10 anywhere anymore. So that's why my Super Nintendo collection is not the best. So it's actually not that bad of condition because most of the time these systems have a infamously of yellowing. Like, this would become yellow, and I'm lucky this one hasn't. But yeah. And then I got my Xbox. Now, I used to have one of these around 10 years old, and it's because my brother got an Xbox One, and he still has it. I got an original one, and like a doofus, I sold it, and I only got $30 off of it. And I got this yesterday, and I love it, but there's a few problems. First of all, I mean, like, first of all, it doesn't work. I mean, it's $70 in those games, which are a pretty good deal, but it has problems. Like, the problem, I don't want to target the eBay seller, but he or she didn't really check it that well because it takes forever for the games to load, and sometimes the audio plays but the video does not. And this is specifically for games. The main menu boots up fine, but other than that, sometimes it takes forever. But I love this. I'm trying to do more with it because I'm trying to fix it. I think I'm gonna get some new AV cables. Hopefully this C virus doesn't delay my Amazon thing, and I have a DVD player that came with it, and this controller. I love this controller. People are gonna say, "Oh my gosh, this controller is bad." I love it. Okay, it's huge, but I think the button placement of start and back makes more sense than the S controller, and I know it's big, but I have big hands, and I think it's good. But the other one doesn't work. That controller doesn't work, so I have a few complaints with that eBay listing, but yeah. So here's my NES Classic. When I got this, it was high demand. You can now find it anywhere, well, except eBay scalpers, and my parents, I begged for one for Christmas, and they got me one for $180. Yikes, and it's not even modded. Well, it wasn't modded at that time. Now it has all the NES games library, but that's why I don't have an original NES, because NES games aren't the most expensive, but it's not as cheap as people say it is, but I still have the original box too. But yeah. And then here's my controllers. I have some aftermarket or third-party NES Classic controllers because the original controllers don't have this long of a cable. And yeah. And also I have a Wii, but it's connected to my sister's room and she hasn't given them back to me. So I'm gonna try to add it here. And let's move on to Sega Genesis. Or no, let's do a controller first. Here's my GameCube controller. I got this from a lot that I get with the Wii because the Wii that I have does GameCube compatibility. But yeah. And then here's my USB to P or Mac or any USB controller that I have. And here's Sega Genesis. Now, this Sega Genesis has problems too. Well, it doesn't have problems except the controllers. These controllers are so delayed. Like, actually, they don't even work at all. I mean, I bought this for $30 with Sonic 2, 1, and Mortal Kombat, so what do you expect? But, yeah. I need, some of these aren't connected, like the Super Nintendo is not connected, and the Sega Genesis. This is Model 2, I think. PlayStation Classic. I don't know why I own this, but I got it for $20 at Walmart, and I was like, yeah. Which I'm surprised they gave it to me, because on the box, it says mature rated, I think. Yeah, right there. But, like, I guess they assume I was an adult, so. And as bad as the PlayStation Classic was badly received, I thought it was fine. I mean, it's not comparable to the NES Classic at all, because I feel like PlayStation doesn't really do a good job of bringing back nostalgia. That's just my opinion. Here's my PC that I don't have plugged in right now. It's very virus infested. I used to download a lot of ROMs that were pretty sketchy. Not the ROMs themselves, but the websites. Emu Paradise, rest in peace. That was the only really safe website for ROMs. Emu Paradise, rest in peace. I mean, it's still up, but it's like Nintendo is, I don't know. And here's my Xbox 360. You might be wondering, Predator, why is the disk drive weird? Well, this fell off, and oh, it's not on. And it will not eject. It won't open the disk tray. So, yeah, I want to get a new, well, I might just sell this or throw it away or something. It doesn't work. I mean, everything else works fine, but the disk drive does not work. So, I can't play games, so that's sad. Yeah, and that's all the game consoles that I have. I don't think I can fit anything else, any other game console, because I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 systems, including the Wii that's downstairs. So, yeah, and I have the PlayStation box right there, or PlayStation Classic. I have I have the Atari games. Oh, I have a Coca-Cola clock, which I had to get. I'm so nostalgic about these types of things. And, I don't know. Is there anything else I need to show? Oh, there's a cassette player, which I don't have that plugged in. There's a green screen, yeah. Is there anything else in here? Yeah, oh, there's my trumpet. I have a trumpet. I think that's pretty much all that needs to be said. So, yeah. So that was my game room, or my room tour. I hope you enjoyed it. It's something a bit different than what I'm used to. But, thank you guys for watching, and stay safe.